A friend of mine put a note in our Discord channel yesterday to make sure I didn't miss that OpenAI had unveiled Sora. Now, as if I could have missed it. But for some of you who might have a life or a job, if you missed the show and the announcement, Sora is absolutely incredible as a tool for generating complex photorealistic videos. If you've seen it, you'll know why my friend was so enthusiastic. If you haven't, you should, if only to see where the technology has taken us. In any event, my comment for him was, Sora on day 3 of 12 days? Where do you go from there? And on day 4, they put on a brave face and ChatGPT announced its Canvas program that had been in beta for some months with paid subscribers and is now going to be released to all ChatGPT users. Canva is probably best described as a new way to work with ChatGPT that is more conversational. In normal use, you give ChatGPT a prompt. It writes something underneath your prompt. You read it, you make some more suggestions, and you enter a new prompt and hope you'll get it right. Sometimes you might be 10 versions down before you really get something completed. But what if you could have your prompt and the response from ChatGPT side by side? And what if you could make slight changes to what ChatGPT's response was in real time? You just go over to the window and you make your changes. And if you could make those changes as you would with many editors, including bolding and other things you might expect in an editor, it might be a much more efficient way to do things. And that's what OpenAI has brought to you. And there's a few more tools in there that make it interesting. Canvas also has a toolbar on the right, which will allow you to click for some common commands. You can make things shorter, longer, check spelling, even add emojis. In a nutshell, that's Canvas. But also remember, OpenAI has set these demos up to address common criticisms or complaints. So in this demo, they carefully showed the appropriate way for students to use Canvas for schoolwork. You can ask ChatGPT to give you your comments in your document. In the demo, one of the engineers had a physics problem relating, of course, to Santa and his sleigh, and he asked ChatGPT to give him feedback like a physics professor would. The text was then highlighted and comments appeared. And they were pretty good. And this is where I say they were careful to show the right way to do it. Because you couldn't just ask ChatGPT to rewrite your paper, taking into account what a physics professor would say. That would probably not go over well. But in the example, they carefully went through each comment and they made the individual changes in response to the comments. Now, one of the things that's frustrated me about Canvas was that you could easily lose track of changes. This version has a Show Changes button, which highlights all of the changes that have been made. It's excellent for checking your work or seeing what ChatGPT has changed. Another theme that came back was the idea of using Canvas as an editor for coding. Right now, they're focusing on Python, which is getting to be a very common language, especially in data and AI uses. And you can put Python code into Canvas, and like our earlier physics example, it will find the errors and give you comments about your code. And again, like our earlier physics paper, ChatGPT can find the errors, which you can fix, or ask it to automatically fix them. For the Python code, it has an emulator, so you can run the code, generate documents, and even charts and graphics. Now, the final demo was again Christmas themed, but showed a great use case where Canvas was added to a GPT, these small agents that you can write in ChatGPT. The GPT could read a handwritten letter, in this case to Santa, and generate responses. It was a great way to slide in the use about automating repetitive tasks like issuing standard responses, even when the source is a handwritten document. Bottom line, Canvas is a more collaborative approach to co-creating a document. I've tried it, and originally I wasn't thrilled myself, but given the improvements they've made, I might take another shot at it after these updates, which I guess is a success for the OpenAI team. It won't take our mind off the fact that Sora is still swamped and unavailable, but better than nothing.